So guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are June 30th. We are 16:57 p.m. As you can see, basically, the channel name is Living Past 300, and basically will be I'm doing like, how can I say, a research or a research paper, and then basically we'll be talking about how can humans live past 300 years of age. And so yeah, maybe you can ask yourself why do you have to do this? But I'm doing this because I think when someone like let's say I die in like 50 years in 20 28 2070 or something. So what will the past generation maybe how will they remember me, like what the legacy will I leave behind, So I'm just contributing to like how can I say it, to um let's say as a species we want to double, like do you know that just like 50 or 1 decade ago, 1 century ago, we couldn't, like humans, the average lifetime was like 50 or 70. In 1900s it was like 50 or 70, no, 50 years. But all they did was like, you know awareness, health awareness, like telling people, use hygiene. Like people didn't care back then, I think. From my research, that's what I saw. And of course, vaccines came and everything, and we were able to move from 50 to like 70. So I think if we um like work more, we can maybe get this 70 to 300. So this 300 means 300 years. So I think my channel is named Living Past 300. This is my email for those who want to contact me. Um, so I'll be dedicating like a lot of hours just doing research. I have no other resources apart from that I can do research. And this comes from I like everything that relates to biology and to what can I say, to I like watching videos about medical scenarios like diseases, uh, asking AI about various diseases and everything, and about organ functions and the processes within our bodies. So yeah, I'll be after that. I end up like one night I was like, on my phone, and I was like, what do they take for humans to live for 300 years? Then I like started asking, AI. I asked, I continued to chat with it, and I go, it's so hard, but I think that we can do it. Uh, so yeah, here I will be like putting everything you would have to do to achieve living for 300 years. I don't know why I'm laughing, but yeah, okay, I'm laughing because when I was thinking about starting this YouTube channel, I'm sure that I'll be getting like 1 or 2 views. And so basically, probably but it's not about the matter of views, it's just the matter of me contributing to society, if I can say. And later, if I'm planning to like invite doctors to like make this something which is open source, everyone can contribute. And of course, I can like visit hospitals, doctors, or working on something related to this field. And like open source projects in this world, like everyone can contribute. So I want to make this like an open source. Everyone can contribute to how we can, as a species, increase our lifespan. We did amazing things as species, so I don't think this would be hard. It might be, but okay. I'm not saying that it will be easy. I'm not saying that it will be instant. I'm not saying that it won't it will like fall from the sky basically. But what I'm saying is, if you put a heart and mind to it, you might do it. A wise man once said, whatever that you put your hands and mind to, you can do it. So Why? Like you see all these important people like Einstein, all these brilliant minds, like they just live 60 or 70 years and then we lose him. So why can't we just? I think we are losing potential. Like if someone was maybe to live 300 years, maybe they took the first 30 years of their life learning things, and now the last 270 years they are contributing to humanity. I think that would be a very, very good achievement as a species. So basically, I'm bringing like public awareness, if I can say, of how women can live past 300. So yeah, let's dive in. It's been 5 minutes of introduction. Every single day I'll be taking my time. And another thing I want, you know, I had I once thought, like, can I find job and find employment or start a business? But nothing was like clicking or feeling like fulfilling to me. Uh, more than like more than if I do this, like work on, like I'm feeling passionate about this. I'm feeling like I don't want to do this. There is no like immediate gain or something, but I just want to do it. Okay, I just want to like spend hundreds of, if possible, thousands of hours just digging everything that's possible. Then after, like, we have a blueprint. I don't know. If I have some money, I would try to make these into practice. But for now, it's just theories. But I'll be documenting everything from papers online, um, from research, like basically where we are at as far as publish, like publicly available information regarding what we would have to do to achieve like 300 years of life, so of lifespan. So yeah, let's dive in. So when I started, of course, I once had something like the first half of the 20th century. This is like in the 1900s. Uh, the most significant increase in life expectancy occurred a few years ago, like 1900s. This dramatic change was driven by a combination of factors. Um, they include, like let's say, in the beginning of 20th century, life was very low. Life expectancy was very low. In the United States, it was only about 45 to 50 years. However, by the mid-century, this number had jumped significantly. In the US. Life expectancy for those born in 1938 was already around 80 years. Okay, so it jumped from 45 to 50 to about 80 years. So we added basically over 30 years over the average lifespan. So what contributed to these 30 years? So it was basically vaccines and other key factors. These key factors are health awareness, if I can say. So public health measures and improved living conditions, um, then vaccines. Basically, they contributed to the 30 years that we were able to add to our average lifespan. So the vaccines were like of diseases like polio, measles, diphtheria, uh, that were of course killing people. So, but also there was improved medical treatment for chronic disease like heart disease and stroke also. Okay, this also contributed, of course. Um, and among the public health measures, the key factors include the cleaner water and better sanitation, improved hygiene, housing, and better nutrition. So they basically tell people like you gotta eat, you gotta use clean water, you gotta um, always make sure that everything is clean. Sanitation is the key. Improve hygiene and housing, and then better nutrition. Because when I was starting, I asked myself maybe there's one time that increased significantly our lifetime, and I just saw that basically what they did, discovering vaccines and public health awareness. Then I was like, okay, now currently, what are the top 10 leading causes of death globally that we would have to fight in order to increase our lifespan as a species? And then basically, the top 10 leading causes of death. there is heart diseases, and then this causes like 13% of all deaths. So I did research, and this is like a summary from all the research that I was doing. But in coming days, I think I'll be doing research as I'm presenting because there's no need to not do so. And I don't know, like probably, um, oh, already we have 207 megabytes of these videos so far. I think I will do like 20 or 30 minutes, then cut the video and start another one. So this causes 13%, COVID-19 caused around 12%, stroke. So I would have to check if COVID-19 is still causing these 12%, but then stroke causes 10%. So let's see. Yeah, I doubt this. This was like this was like back in the days when COVID was crazy. So stroke is causing like 10%, chronic obstructive, like all of these things. Then I asked myself if you can cure all of these, except maybe the stroke which is in the brain. Like maybe let's say we don't touch the brain for now because a brain is a person entirely. Like if I can say. So if we were able to treat all of the above diseases, like, what if all other organs were replaced to avoid their failure, but you leave the brain emanating? So, like, if an organ is failing, we can, like, let's suppose that all of these organs are bad, like kidney, tuberculosis, affecting the lungs. Like, let's say you can replace all of these. How many years can you add on our lifespan? And then I realized that it's roughly 50 years, just 20 to 50 years. And this is far from our target of 300 years. And I was, of course, disappointed. Like imagine like we treat all 90%, like the 90% of all causes of death. Um, for my research, they result from organs apart from the brain. But it might be slightly lower, like maybe 80%. So imagine we treat 80% and we just add like 20 to 50 additional years on our average lifespan, which is 73 years currently. So I was not happy. And then now I was like, okay, now let's look at aging itself. What causes aging and how can we treat it? And if we treat aging, how many more years can we add on our lives? So here we have made like this Google Doc where we'll be tracking how many years we'll be adding if we treated a certain specific something. So currently, 90% of all causes. Okay. Okay, let's do like this. Eliminating 90% of all causes of death. Let me put the type. Let me put this in front and then I delete this. So basically here I will be tracking. Like if we do this, we can add this amount of years to our average lifespan. So aging. So what treating aging does and does not do. And a quick disclaimer, I'm not like it's not like I know many things more than you guys, but it's more like I'm taking my time to inform myself and to inform those who are interested. Um, if I get zero or almost none views, it's okay. But Um, yeah, I would really like to see this happen, like seeing more people contributing actively to this open source project. And of course, we can change the name, we can change the branding. This is what I'm just using for now. But if a lot of people maybe suggest that we can change the name to this, of course, I'm here to collaborate with people. I'm not here to work alone. So yeah, everything, even all of my Google document, there is like collaboration is enabled, and everyone is like a commenter to avoid um, anyone in the link can comment, just to avoid that everyone can edit. So I just allowed everyone to comment. So now let's see if we treated aging, how many years would we add? Because apart from our organs failing, aging also takes a lot of lives. The fact that you can age, I think, why not look into this factor? So even if you treat aging, accidents, trauma, infections, everything, all of these still can kill you. But now let's see. Uh, so well, the random mutation in cancer over time. We make sure it never happens unless for the reason that aging is only one cause of death. Even if even your body stay young forever, could still die from your cells might be perfect, but your body could still be physically crushed and or starved of oxygen. Yeah, it makes sense. So, cause over time. So, so aging. I don't know why I like went to this title. Is it because aging is basically means random mutation in the cancer over time? Oh, okay. This also can kill you apart from aging. So, so give me some time. We organize this, of course. So, over very long periods of time, random genetic mutation could accumulate and lead to cancer, even if aging itself was stopped. So, the theoretical maximum lifespan would be extremely long, possibly thousands of years. But forever, it's not scientifically possible. Here it's saying forever because I asked it. So, if you treat aging, can humans live forever? Possibly thousands of years. Oh, self was stopped. So, I think random genetic could accumulate even if aging itself was stopped. So, the theoretical maximum lifespan would be extremely long, possibly thousands of years. But forever no seven. Oh, so now the second question is this true? Like, can we live thousands of years if we simply deal with aging? Suppose that somehow we beat aging and as humans we can dull our souls, our cells. So my English is bad, but stay remain in a young state. Would we live for thousands of years, supposing no other disease and no accidents? So let's see what we get. You've hit one of the most fascinating parts in biology. Your intuition is exactly right. Even if you practically solved biological aging will not live for thousand. In fact, many individuals will believe that even have so much more, and possibly much less. Oh, this is good. Okay, so let me add this here. So if we, so maybe this doesn't have like a clear picture, but yeah, give me some time. We'll give it. If no aging, no infection, no accidents, uh, match this. So let me make this heading 2. Heading 2, 1, 2, 3, bold. Heading 2, update. Heading 2 to match. So we would have all these years if we treated, and maybe this is so hard, like no aging, no infectious disease, no accidents, but I'm sure there's ways we can do it. Like let's say we found a way to preserve, like maybe the head only or the brain only. The reason I'm saying this is because, well, this is my theory. It's because if we were going to prevent aging in the whole of the body part to be very, very complex than just maybe dealing with just the brain of a person or the head or the brain with some key important organs. And maybe the rest are supported by machines, like maybe you have a robotic arm, something. Um, of course, all of these are my, is what I'm thinking. It's not like it's the final. But I think it would be far easier. Like if we deal with aging of just our brain and somehow we are able to read and send data into the brain, like when you touch yourself, the senses, all these are senses. Even our ears are like constantly telling our head if my head is like in which direction basically I'm in, or if I'm like running, or if the speed and the velocity, like all these senses are basically being always actively being fed into your mind, but you are not aware. But what happens is if they were not, you would like lose the capability of like of digesting that information. Like let's say back in the days we were playing ping pong, but at one time or maybe you were playing football and you stop playing football, you are inferior. You start to get bad at playing football because the region in your brain that was dealing with football is no longer being actively used. So it like reduces capacity over time, if I can say so. Let me charge my laptop quick and we continue. So it's the same thing. If we were able to preserve the brain, but this brain is not getting any input, then to be like basically losing capacity over time because it's not being used. So all those neurons that are responsible of thinking, of receiving and analyzing information, they would, you know, like lose their capacity over time because they're not being used. So basically, if we were to put a human's brain into something like a machine to preserve or a robot, like let's say we made a robot and we put a human brain inside it, but this brain is not receiving any type of information that would be harmful than just it would be so bad. So we'd have a way to fit this information into this brain. So this is good. Uh, and maybe this is boring because basically I thought of making like engaging content, but imagine all the time to take me to edit to, while my main goal first is like to do research. So this video will be basically me presenting to you, and I'll be presenting ideas, and of course scientific um, approved things, research, and then yeah, we'll be learning it together. Maybe in the coming few days I might go live, and I think they allowed me to go live. By the way, I once made like the first video, but I made it private because it was, I watched it and I thought that it was kind of weird. So, because I was looking in all places and I was thinking, I was acting like, I was not, I was acting like crazy on camera. So I was like, this video does not look good. And then I just made it private. So yeah, the Hayflick limit and stem cells. Even if you keep the cells young, they still have a built-in replication limit. Most of the cells can only divide. Okay, so this is an issue, but for the brain, like if so, this is what I was saying. If we try to preserve the whole body and prevent it from aging, um, still there is cancer that develop from the fact that our cells are constantly dividing, because a cancerous cell is basically a cell without a perfect copy of DNA, and as multiplications happen, as we are doing DNA copying, like making new cells, there come some errors, and some cells can get cancerous. So, as a matter of fact, in every, I don't remember where the fact, but it's like if we the possibility of this happening, it happens to like 0.2% of people over a course of like 70 years. So for people who are aged 70 years, those who get a cancer from the fact that their cells are making errors in their multiplication, they are 0.2%. But this is because it's the first 70 years of living. So we cannot say that by the year 1000, if someone has lived to the age of 1000 years old, they will be, that probability will still remain at 0.2. No. Because as time goes, uh, the multiplications, like the errors are like, I would, can I say compound effect? If I can say, like, it's not like a linear, it's like this. And so I think you are getting it. Am I explaining it correctly? I don't know why I'm laughing. But what I'm just saying is it will not stay at 0.2%. All of these are researches and they are down here in this paper somewhere. And oh, okay, it's here. 0.2% out of 1,000 people aged 70 about to have brain cancer. So only 0.2% by age of at the age of 70 they have cancer. But uh, so here I was basically asking if we were only preserving the brain, and the brain says the neurons they don't multiplicate, but they have what we call glial cells, which support the neurons in the brain, and those they do multiplicate. So mm, we get around mutations. Mutation basically is like the change, like a cell divides and the resulting one is changed. Like its DNA is not 100% as how it should be. So we get around 16 to 21 mutations per neuron per year. So if we extended this logic of saying 0.2% at the age of 70 and at 200 years, this would just zero, it would now go to 0.57%. If someone was 200 years old, if like 100 people 200 years old, there's 0.5% that someone will get a cancer from just cell multiplication alone. And then for if we jump this to 500 years, that would be resulting, it would be like compound. At about 300 years, we will have 10 to 20%. At about 500 years, we will have 50 to 90% of chance of dying from just say multiplication cancer from mutations. So basically, I think this is what here they are saying. Most of the cells can only develop before they are telomere. The protective caps on DNA become critical to get down the body like no tissue, but then stem cell accumulation of DNA that when paging is stopped every time a stem cell level to repair your gut lining, skin under popping errors. Eventually, your stem cell pools would become incapable of fold. Oh, okay. So this makes sense. So basically, what they are saying, like every time when you get a cut on your body, and you need stem cells to generate new cells to cover to make the new skin and to replace the old one that's no longer there. But every time that we are doing this cell multiplication, we risk having some errors. So so this is what every time a stem cell divides to repair your gut lining, eventually your stem cell it risks copying errors. Basically, like it risks errors when copying the DNA. Eventually, your stem cell pool would become genetically corrupted or exhausted. Yeah, and the tissue simply fail to regenerate, leading to organ failure. Okay, this makes sense, especially if you are living for hundreds and hundreds of years. The 2 out of 3 cancer rule. Your point about random mutation is the real showstopper. Cancer is a number game. Every time a cell divides to make 3 to 4 new mutations. Over a decade, a single organ stem cell thousand of mutation. Code driver mutation in the right genes, like oh. So here what they are saying, 2 to 3 critical driver mutation in the right genes. A gene is like a sequence of it's like a small block of code of information, like a small block of the DNA. Basically, physical and functional units of heredity made up of DNA. Oh, okay. So, kind of determines the traits. Each cell will contain by genes. So a gene is a DNA. Okay, so let's ask AI. Okay, let me use DeepSeek. A gene is made of DNA. So guys, we are learning together. I did like I studied medicine like for 2 semesters in college. But in high school, I did mathematics, chemistry, and biology, which is like a combination. But yeah, over time I transitioned to software engineering, and now I'm not good in biology, so I'm just so is a gene made of DNA. A DNA, okay. So a gene is made of a DNA. Um, so what is law of genes? The law of genes basically, I think it's to they hold information on what to code, on what your body should do or make or code. Okay. Genes are the instructions, yeah, for building and running your body. Okay, genes are instructions. If a DNA is the gene instruction manual in the gene specific chapter, then there are genes to provide the actual within that chapter. Okay. Every dimension, every gene contains a chemical code for being nation. And the worker molecules evolved that they do almost everything. For example, collagen gives your skin full structure. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So for those people who are not aware, like when you hear proteins, we are like, oh, protein is milk and I drink proteins. But basically your body is also proteins. Like the nails are proteins. The skin, collagen, do you have collagen or keratin? I don't remember. But one of them is like in the skin and also it's a protein. It provides like do you see how your skin is elastic? Yeah, it's basically a protein. Or digestive enzymes in your body, they are proteins. Insulin that you need to regulate your blood sugar is a protein. So everything in your body that you do is a protein, and to make this protein, you need genes that have information on how to design this particular thing. Also, genes and make proteins and protein build your body. Genes ultimately determine your biological traits, influence your eye color, blood type, face shape. Oh, so when someone is uh, now let's say like your ears are big. There's one person I asked like, what's your biggest? insecurity about your body, and she was like, my ears, they are big consider the rest of my body, and so yeah, we have to blame her genes. So because they were the one that determined the proteins that made her ears. Okay, now it makes sense. So when there is a mutation, a critical driver mutation in the right genes, remember the genes are the one that tell your body how to make a particular protein. Uh, so to get a cancer, you typically need just 2 to 3 critical driver mutations. And remember, every time a cell divides, it makes about 3 to 4 new mutations or change in the genetic code. Mutation means what is what I wanted to. I think it's simply a permanent change in the DNA sequence of a gene. Oh yeah. So mutation basically is a permanent change in the DNA sequence of a gene. Remember, gene is made of some DNAs. So and DNA is like a sequence. So take it like a DNA is like these phones, and so where is the camera? Okay, here is the angle. So after this phone, you have like multiple phones like in a row, and each phone is a like a DNA is also made of some amino acids, like they are chains. Then a group of those chains, like a group of, like, let's suppose amino acids were cars. So so if you had many cars in a line, they would make up a DNA. And then if you had many rows of those cars together, they will make up a gene. So a mutation is basically in the change of the, not of the amino acid, but in the sequence of how the cars are organized in our row. Because their organization mean something. So let me show you. So mutation is it change in arrangement of amino acids inside DNA. That is really good, and they are very close, but the other operations slightly backward. Mutations. Hey, why can't I? Mhm. In DNA, which then cause change in amino acid contain the master race. The recipe is to be done in temporary code. Then it machine to make amino acid into a protein chain. Oh, amino acid make proteins. My bad. I'm sorry. Then yeah. Oh yeah. DNA. Yeah, DNA is made of these like kind of letters. ATCG. I changed the RNA copy gets changed and but then they change the same thing the amino acid was supposed to make. Oh. So what is ATCG in DNA? Yeah. So ATCG are basically the bases that make up the genetic alphabet of the DNA. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I remember. Oh yeah. Guys, do you remember how a laptop information is basically one and zeros? So it's the same thing with here. The eight these bases, the A, T, C, and G, are basically what makes a DNA, and their arrangement determines what the end product protein will be. Because how they are arranged is the information of how the protein will be made, and the protein is made from these amino acids, as I told you. So when there is a mistake inside the DNA, it means the ATCG has changed. Okay. So mutation is a change of the DNA letters ATCG because DNA tells a change, the RNA copy gets changed, and because the RNA change the same as linked together amino acid that's so supposed to do. So yeah. So yeah, a mutation not a change in the amino acid inside the DNA. Instead, DNA does not contain amino acid at all. It contains the bases ATCG, and amino acids are building blocks of proteins. Yeah. So your nails, everything is made of amino acids. Basically, a particular arrangement of amino acids. And so when the gene is like mutated, like it's wrong, then they will make the wrong type of skin needed or the wrong type of um, nails needed. So maybe let's see. If my gene you are strictly like yeah, if a gene that controls skin is mutated, the body can produce wrong abnormal skin. The wrong that depends on which skin gene gets mutated. Skin is just one made of different parts, colors, strength, growth rate, much. Switching the use of one specific skin protein, which measures that one specific job, wrong color albinism. Yeah, is what I was saying. So for albino people, it basically means the gene that was supposed to code for the right color of the skin got a mutation. There's a, which made the pigment melanin. The mutation there is broken, so the body makes zero melanin. Oh, these are for an enzyme called tyrosinase. How to read these? Pronunciation. Pronunciation. Tyrosinase. 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 Ty- Tyrosinase. I. Does this mean I? Tyros. Hey, I don't remember how to read this. Sinese. This means along I. Knees. Tyrosinase. Tyrosin. Eyes or is. Okay. Google used to give me a way to like directly play the video, like the audio of how to pronounce the word, but I don't think it's here. So yeah, what I was saying, like when there is a mutation in the gene that is supposed to code an enzyme called tyrosinase, which makes the pigment melanin, or when this gene is wrong from mutation, the recipe is broken, so the body makes zero melanin because we are not coding the right enzyme named tyrosinase. So is an enzyme is an enzyme a protein? How to pronounce enzyme? Enzyme.
enzyme,
Okay, it makes sense. Enzyme.
enzyme,
Enzyme. Okay. So guys, let me catch up with people. Some people want me right now, so let me see what they want. 28. You know about this one? 420,000. I think I can end the video here. Oh, we are already at 45 minutes. How big is this thing? 807. So yeah, we'll make another section. Uh, I think today progress was so slow, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Yeah. So guys, see you. I'm gonna have to do other few things, and yeah, see you. We'll continue, but I will do like in-depth research. I want to do research for like as many months as possible to like cover everything that would need to be done. And it's not just research; it's like going in deep. Like let's say we found that the solution is maybe to preserve just the head or the brain of someone, because obviously preserving the whole body, like preventing aging, preventing diseases, and the whole body, it would be so much. But of course, your input is required, like your ideas. But let's say a particular type of surgery is needed to achieve this. Then in this research, I will also dive deeper into that research, like what no into that surgery, like what's needed, what currently can you achieve, what you can't achieve. Like from the research I've been doing, like to do brain surgery, sometimes they lower the brain temperature and it gives them like 45 minutes, where you can move the where the brain has no active blood supply. But since the brain cells already are storing some few amount of energy, they are consuming them in that period of time. While usually for just 4 minutes and at room temperature, the brain is using so much energy that when you cut the blood for just 4 minutes, the brain is like damaged completely. So yeah, I was diving deeply into the because if I do like file open, I was diving deeply into what kind of job would have to do in that surgery to achieve that something. Because but here I had the idea, like let me show you. I had the idea that we would need to remove the brain and preserve it in a robot, and then we use sensors. There is what you call um, there's some penetrating devices that like can send or read signals from the brain, and basically like we put the brain in like a robot suit. This was my idea, and can read the things from it. And this is like a whole research on everything they would need to do in the surgery. And for each simple thing they would have to do in the surgery, there is like current feasibility, like can we currently do it or not. Okay, I'm sorry, someone needs my attention. So this is the first thing, the patient core body temperature is lower using an internal bypass machine down to 18 degrees Celsius. So we need to get the body down to 18 degrees Celsius. While usually our body usual temperature is like what, 24? Am I wrong or 36? I don't remember. Uh, Room temperature of the human body. Yeah, 36 degrees Celsius. So we need almost to half it to 18. And then this would give us around, so leaving per 300 brain surgery. This will give us around 45 minutes to, I've read this like many times, so I know everything in here. And craniotomy and dura mater microdissection. So basically, dura mater is like the tissue surrounding the brain and protecting it and fixing it on the skull. So we need to remove it. Um, and then radical cranioanatomy is to, I'm not sure if we'd have to completely remove all the nerves that like go down the spinal cord. We have like 12 nerves. Maybe you can leave them there because they're needed, but I'm not sure if it would be better to remove it or just leave it because even without needing the nerves, we can read or send data into the brain. And the current feasibility, so we'll also go over these. Like if we are doing here research, I'm not just trying to provide something that's theory. Everyone can say theory, but we'll also dive deeper into the type of surgeries that would need to achieve the 300 years if surgery is needed. And then I will go into all steps needed for this surgery. So let me stop the video here. See you in the next step. Today on the 30th of June 2025, I just ended this video at 17:48 p.m. Central African time. For those who don't know, I'm an African. Um, and basically, so let's end this video here. And yeah, by the way, my name is Solomon. You can just say Solomon. I don't know why I wanted to like I'm kind of a low key person, so I don't wanna most of the time don't want all my information on the internet, but I don't think it's harmful to just put my name out there, especially that my face is already here. So my camera is right here. It's like my laptop, and then here is my main screen. I'm using my headphones to record. Like if I tap here, you will see that yeah, I'm using this to record. So yeah, the audio is not good, but at least it's something. When I was starting, I wanted to like start with a good background, good audio, everything. I even got like a small microphone that is like plugged into the earphone jack, but it was terrible. It's not a professional one. It's like those small ones they put here, which has a cable. And then I tried headphones that are dedicated, like, but they also sound terribly. But these Bluetooth headphones, they are doing kind of a good job. But if I was to switch to my laptop, let me show you. Okay, I was trying to use my laptop as an input device, but it failed. But basically, it would be terrible than this one. So yeah, see you. I think we covered everything. So the next time we look at aging, random mutations in cancer over time, what experts guess about lifespan without aging. Oh, if there was aging, there would be a thousand years or more. Yeah, as you saw here. Yeah. And basically, what should we need to do? Yeah, here I was asking, it's what Robertson need to do. Why Robertson? Oh, okay, I'm wrong. So let's say that we remove the brain and put it in a robot suit. Of course, the brain needs nutrients. It needs some. What else? It needs a mechanism to flush out its toxins. It needs a couple of things. So all of these, the heart pumps the blood to the head, to the brain. The lungs oxygenate all of these. The kidneys flush out the toxins from the body, digestive system to provide the food to the brain. So also to be incredibly difficult to put our brain into a suit or into a robot. Um, but yeah, just preserving the brain will be technically simpler if you were trying to prevent aging from just the brain and maybe a few organs in the brain, and maybe the eyes, the ears, and the mouth. But it will be simpler than trying to prevent aging in the whole body. So yeah, next time we'll go through all of these. Uh, yeah, so see you in the next video, and that was it for today.